Hey guys, it's Peter back with another interview covering IEM Dallas 2024. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied by STYKO of Monte, who are coming off of a loss in the opening round of said competition to Team Vitality. So, STYKO, really appreciate you taking the time. Unfortunate that the series went down as it did like that, losing in overtime. But first off, how are you feeling?
I mean, it's always tough when you come to events like this, when you're sometimes an underdog, like we are right now, and it's honestly feels great to be participating in these kind of events and also pushing teams like Vitality to the limit. Of course, it's best of one first game, but we have pretty tough, actually, pretty tough part of the bracket, I would say, and we're always going to be underdog in these games. So it's just, you know, good signs, but obviously we lost, so we cannot take we cannot like take it for granted that it will happen in the future as well.
Yeah, but there was some bright spots, especially early on in the map, where you guys were ahead around 9-3,
Yeah.
I believe. Unfortunate, didn't go well. Well, just one thing that you feel the team kind of didn't play as well in the second half or later on in overtime, what would that be?
I think they really stepped up their game as well on the second half. So it's not really that we just did something bad, but honestly, like we started losing very close rounds, very close situations. We lost two 1v1s in the first pistol round and the second round, and then we lost like three 2v2s during the half as well, which we could have like break them. And all these rounds were won by Vitality purely because they're just Vitality, experience, but like really still skilled players. They hit insane shots, and there were multiple occasions where if we just hit one extra bullet, we would probably take it over the hump, and we didn't. So that's what happens when you don't perform 100% against a team like Vitality.
Yeah, and as you said, best of one, one in which you guys can kind of brush it off for now. But yeah, pivoting a little bit outside of this match, but now most focusing towards participating in Dallas. Of course, you joining in a new team such as Monte, going in from Apeks, and then also in addition to the fact of bringing in Haji as a stand-in. What is the team's overall preparation been like for this event in the days leading up to it, and even now going into day one?
So it was like rough preparation with just 2 weeks since basically I joined, and then Haji came a little bit later into the mix as well. There was literally no time for us to like scrim and practice because we've had so many official games and obligations that we had to do, and because Monte is participating in a couple of tournaments and qualifiers, so we try to maximize that, and we've had pretty much a game or two every single day. There was option that we would have even 3 games per day, so practice has been limited. Therefore, we've been only practicing really in official matches, so to speak, and that's just rough how it is, but we have to adapt to it. We're not complaining by any means, but it's just a fact. Like, the reason why we lost Nuke probably today was because we played it just handful of times, and it's just a different map to understand for rotation. It was my permaban in Apeks for a long time, so I'm coming to an environment where I have to suddenly step up and play up with the best teams in the world on it.
Yeah, sure. Going a little bit into Haji's, how have you seen his, or how have you observed his inclusion to the team? Of course, for this competition and overall the like.
Yeah, so we needed a guy that is able to shoot really well, especially in the like star or slash second star roles, and I think he's putting up really good work as well as communicating with the team. So that's kind of a balance that you have to find when you're a star player to obviously perform, but at the same time you have to be able to help second call, second IGL, and etc. etc. So he's been doing well. He's been out of the game for some time now, and I think is every day doing baby steps to become like really really solid and complete player, what actually we need in Monte.
Yeah, for sure. And now, of course, I want to now talk about you. Of course, as I mentioned before earlier on in the conversation, going in from Apeks to Monte, you sort of already touched upon preparation for this event. Going off of from one team to the next, more so just transition. Again. Comparing your stint with how it was this year in Apeks to Monte. Of course, although I do say this with you not really having been in the team for around many months, but still, how have you kind of compared the two stints so far?
I mean, it's really hard to say yet. Like it's way too early in Monte, and I cannot really put my finger on what the issues in the team are because obviously every team has some. But it's definitely different than Apeks. I feel like we are much more capable of. When it comes to individual skill, where the firepower is higher compared to Apeks in my opinion. Also, like the vibe, the atmosphere in the team is a little bit better. Maybe less professional, but more. I don't want to say friendly, but it's different. I cannot really explain it really well, but it's different, especially the way we work, the way we prepare for the games, the way we anti-strat, the way we hang out with each other. Like everything's a little bit different, but it's natural because you're joining an international team to another one, and a mix of people will behave differently from that different parts of Europe. So it's kind of, I'm used to it because I've been playing on international teams for 8 years now, and I know that every single one is a little bit different, and you have to learn to like it, I guess.
Going a little bit again on Apeks, I want to ask about how your experience was that, not focusing on your current team, but more so just, again, Apeks. You mentioned a few times about how, you were there for major, getting to the major, you got it done, you got that done. How do you kind of look back on that time?
Yeah, I mean, that's what basically my whole year 2024 has been about, getting to the major, because at the beginning I was brought back by Apeks to retain the spot at the RMR. Then we went there, we performed really well, we came home, and ever since then it was pretty much downhill. I honestly forgot how it feels to win a game, because it's been just a huge slump for everyone, and we were just kind of burned out of each other, and it was a mess. And in game wise, like, roles changed for me, for example, and right now in Monte I'm learning to play different spots and also play different roles on T side, even though like the nature of the role is still the same. I'm still supportive player, but on the Apeks I was more like lurk anchor supportive player. Now I'm actually like part of the pack support player. So the roles changed for me, but the idea of the game, the methodology, what comes into what is needed of me is actually still all the same. So I'm just learning every game, and every day I have extensive talks with LMBT, and he's telling me, suggesting things. We're talking and evolving as a team.
One more question for me to ask before I wrap this up. More so just overall view of or more so just you looking back at how 2024 has been so far. Even now, this recent result, unfortunate with an L, but still, how do you kind of look back on how 2024 has been for you? Apeks plus Monte for you, both in and outside of the server.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good question. I feel like I'm evolving, definitely, because if in this, like, I'm 28 years, and if you don't evolve as a player, these young guys like Dong will catch up to you, and they will just stomp you every time. So obviously, like, they're great players, but I need to, always reinvent the way I practice, the way I approach the game, the way I talk about the game, the way I understand the game. And this has been my main focus for 2024, because I want to feel more comfortable, be more complete player, be more comfortable in variety of areas of the maps, roles, etc. So I'm proud of myself that I'm actually pushing myself to do it, because I feel like on Apeks I've been playing like same role and the same way for a long time, that it kind of hindered my understanding of the meta as well. So I've been putting a lot of thoughts into how I actually see Counter-Strike myself, and how I want it to be played out on my team that I'm playing on. So I've been impressed with myself, honestly. That's like my summary of 2024. But obviously, job's not done, not even close. Like, I need to keep it up, and only my motivation will show me where I can push it.
And hopefully you're able to keep it up. STYKO, really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you very much as well.
All right, thank you. All right.